It's time to welcome the Wine Ladies with Georgia and Suzanne. An entertaining hour topped up with great ideas about wine, where to dine, anything and everything to do with the vine. Great conversation, lots of laughter, guests from all walks of life, food and wine, music, art, sports, and much more, all on The Wine Ladies.
Hi everybody, it's us, the Wine Ladies.
I'm Georgia.
And I'm Susanne, and welcome to the Wine Ladies One Sip at a Time. You know what, September is such an incredible time for us in the wine industry.
Yes,
it is such a busy time. The harvest is going on, and we are so excited because it is the 61st annual Niagara Wine Festival that started this week and is going to be going on for 2 weeks, and we are going to be heading down there this weekend yet again.
Oh, absolutely. I think we heard that about 50,000 people come down to Niagara-on-the-Lake for this festival, so it's going to be amazing. I also want to give a little bit of a shout out to Curtis Fielding. Curtis was just awarded the Grape King for 2012. Congratulations, Curtis and Heidi. They started their winery in 2005, so not very old, and he is now the king of the vine. So there you go, Curtis. Congrats.
Next time we see him, he'll be wearing his crown for sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, 2012, we hear, is supposed to be an excellent vintage as well.
That's what they say, yeah. Lots of heat, not too much rain, good quality and good quantity. Now, we've decided today that we're going to actually devote an entire show to one of our wine growing regions. It's a regional appellation. It's Niagara-on-the-Lake. But, you know, it's not only about the wine. I mean, Niagara-on-the-Lake is an unbelievable destination. Actually, TripAdvisor voted it, ranked it 12th among the top 25 destinations in all of Canada.
I tell you, we're into social media in a big way, and my Twitter and my Facebook is going off big time here.
It sure is.
All right, so speaking of which, Twitter and Facebook, we are doing a fantastic contest right now for Niagara-on-the-Lake, the B&B Association, and the reaction has been absolutely phenomenal. We are giving away over $3,500 in prizes, and the whole contest goes on for 6 weeks. Every week, it's a different B&B that's been selected, and they will host you for two. I think it's a 2-night stay. Then we've got wineries that are involved in that. We've got fantastic restaurants. We've got a chocolate factory. We've got incredible prizes. So all you have to do is tweet the Niagara TWL contest at the Wine Ladies and at Ontario's B&Bs, and every week we pick a different winner. So make sure you enter. It's going to be a fantastic prize. It'll be worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. Niagara-on-the-Lake is an unbelievable destination, like we said. So we've actually invited 3 guests to join us here today. We've got one lovely lady who's going to be here representing the vine, and then we have another wonderful lady again. She's going to be here representing the culinary side, a little bit of the culinary side to Niagara-on-the-Lake. And finally, we have, I call him the ambassador of Niagara-on-the-Lake. He is the president of the Niagara B&B Association, and boy, he knows NOTL like nobody else. So our first guest, Suzanne, who are we going to introduce first?
Our first guest is Michelle Bosque from Chateau de Charme. She's the marketing director over there. The family's originally from Alsace, France, and emigrated to Canada back, I think, in the 60s. So she's our first guest in studio, so we would like to welcome you to the Wine Ladies, and nice to finally meet you.
Nice to finally meet you as well.
Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you.
So let's talk about Niagara-on-the-Lake a little bit as a wine growing region.
Okay.
It's maybe about the appellation structure and how Niagara Peninsula is divided into regional.
Absolutely. In 2005, there was a significant amount of scientific study that was amalgamated, and it looked at all kinds of things like topsoil and the bedrock underneath and climate and all kinds of different things. And there were appellations and then sub-appellations that divided up the peninsula in these little different mini regions. And it's that old essence of terroir that the French always talk about. And it just means everything that goes into making a vineyard site unique and special. And there are many different sub-appellations in Niagara, one of which is a collective called Niagara-on-the-Lake. Ironically, it's in Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Right. Which makes a lot of sense.
Go figure. It does. It does. So it's a very interesting little piece of land. It is bound by the Niagara Escarpment to the south, which is 1 million years old. Can you believe it?
Wow, 1 million years old.
Exactly.
My goodness. Wow.
To the north is Lake Ontario, and we've had 4 ice ages come through. So if you were to look at a soil map of that region, it would look like that proverbial painting with the monkeys throwing the paint at the wall. It's just a mishmash of all kinds of different things. What's great about that as a wine grower is that you can grow lots of different grape varieties in different little plots, and they all taste unique and special and different.
Yeah, that's very exciting. And in the Niagara Peninsula, I believe that it's responsible for about, I think it's 80% of Canada's grape growing. Is that correct?
It is correct.
Like, that is huge. That's a big proportion.
It sure is.
Yeah. And Chateau des Charmes, so where are you guys located?
We are right up against the Niagara Escarpment. So if you think about being as far away from the lake as you can possibly get, that's us.
Okay.
And it is a stunning winery, incredible architecture.
Thank you.
Who designed the winery?
It's a firm called McDonald and Zubrick, and my father-in-law, who had a vision for what he wanted his winery to look like. And a lot of people think it looks like a French chateau, and I think in many respects it does.
It does, yeah.
But the reality is that when my in-laws arrived in Canada, the first thing that they thought that was very Canadiana were the great CP rail hotels. So Chateau Laurier, Chateau Frontenac, you know, Banff Springs. Those iconic hotels, they look like strength, and they look like they'd be there forever in the copper roof. So if you look at our building in that context, it's extremely Canadian.
Absolutely. I never thought of it that way, but that makes a lot local.
It does.
Go local.
Go local. And you know, also...
Not loco, but local.
Yes.
Yeah, we've already done a little bit of that getting started this afternoon. But also, I know that that when your ancestors came over, I believe like Paul was one of the first ones that decided to plant commercially the Vitis vinifera grapes, and I think a few people thought he was a little crazy, like
a little local.
Like, what is exactly what is he really thinking? But they were proven wrong.
Absolutely, yeah. So who had the last laugh,
right?
Yeah. There was a lot of experimentation with Vitis vinifera going on in the area, and he was one of them doing that when he was working for Chateau Gay, which is now Vincor Constellation eventually. But he was the first to say, you know what, I know I can do this here. It reminded him of Burgundy. Our area reminded him of Burgundy, where he studied. And he said, well, there's no reason why we can't do it here. So he was the first to say, okay, 60 acres, all planted to Vitis vinifera. He did it. And now, believe it or not, you cannot get a manufacturing license for wine without planting grapes. So the estate
in that area?
In Ontario.
In Ontario.
In Ontario. So he was the first to bring that notion of the estate winery model to Canada as well. So he said, if I'm going to make wine, I'm going to grow the grapes because I want to make sure that they are as good as they possibly can be. And right now, or in the past 7 years, we haven't purchased grapes from anyone.
They say it always starts in the vineyard, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah. Great wines are grown. They're not made.
So here we are. This was about 1978. So look where we are now with our Ontario wine industry, with the wonderful wines now that we're making. We have our own Niagara wines. I don't think we have to copy anybody else. We sort of starting to have our own personality.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, I think in the beginning people wanted to say, oh, you know, our wines are like X.
Yes.
You know, and in many respects they're a lot like old world wines because of that great freshness that you can also get in wines from Burgundy or Chablis or Champagne. But at the end of the day, we're in Niagara. So we are Niagara. Our wines are Niagara, and they taste like Niagara wines.
And one thing I have to say I love about Niagara-on-the-Lake is there are so many wineries. Like, just how far is this winery? Oh, it's like a couple of minutes down
It's like
the road.
Napa. It's kind of like Napa in the sense
it's better
that
than Napa.
Well, it's Canadian. But in terms of the closeness of the wineries,
Absolutely.
you know, you don't have to go far
to
experience a different winery.
It's a playground for the palate. That's how I look at it.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great line. Playground for the palate.
We should coin that.
Yeah, we should.
Now, speaking of which, you have brought some sparkling wine for us to enjoy here this afternoon.
Absolutely.
So what do we got in the glass? What are we going to be tasting?
Well, this is our Brut sparkling wine, and I know Thanksgiving is just around the corner. And in our house, actually, the end of the day is a great reason to celebrate with a glass of bubbly.
You made it through another day.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
You don't need a so-called special occasion for good sparkling wine. And sparkling is one of those styles of wine that we can do very well in Niagara.
Why is that?
Part of it has to do with the soil, part of it has to do with the climate. There's a Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Both grapes grow extremely well in our region.
Okay.
And we have the talented winemakers who know how to do it right.
There you go.
Awesome. So let's get. You know, where are our swords when we
Our
need them?
sabers. We didn't bring our sabers with us this afternoon.
Well, we'll go old
So we'll
school.
have to
Yeah,
do
we'll
the
have to
old
do the
way, but
old-fashioned
that's
way.
okay. It still works.
Now, I know that a lot of people want to make a noise when they open sparkling wine, but
But you don't like to do that.
it's
You
kind
like
of
to- Woo! She scared herself.
there you go.
Perfectly
Awesome.
done.
Okay,
Wow.
there we have our glasses here. Michelle even brought her own glasses.
They're lovely.
Well, we
Wonderful.
use exclusively Schatzfiesel in our winery, so I thought I'd like to bring a few Schatzfiesel
beautiful.
glasses
That's
for
lovely.
you to try this wonderful sparkling wine.
Thank you. So this is a what's the percentage of the blend of the grapes?
50-50 Pinot Noir and Chardonnay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so it is made in the traditional method, which means that the bubbles are created in the bottle that you buy.
Right. Awesome.
So we can't call it champagne, but in every respect other than we're in Niagara.
The name.
Yes, it
Yes.
is champagne. So
Well,
Okay,
cheers
let's
to
have
the
it.
Vince
Cheers.
for the 2012
Cheers.
vintage,
Vintage
and a great wine
2012.
festival
Yes,
this weekend.
exactly.
Absolutely.
nice
Nothing
and
like a little
refreshing.
bubbly. It is. Oh, it's got a lovely acidity there too. Ooh, absolutely delicious.
Pairs
very
with a
nice.
lot of great things like popcorn and potato chips. And
All those
we've had-
healthy things.
absolutely, absolutely.
That's lovely. And is this available at the LCBO,
It
Michelle,
is.
as well?
This one is. It's $22.95.
Okay.
And it's at the LCBO.
Awesome. That's fantastic. There's a lot of other. You've brought in a couple of other wines as well that represent the region.
In Niagara-on-the-Lake, we are a great big family of wineries. We call ourselves neighbors because we are in proximity, and we work collaboratively. So I've brought just a smattering of a few other of our friends. We have Coyotes Run, Peller Estates, and Lelia Vineyards.
Fantastic.
And the wonderful thing about the wineries of Niagara-on-the-Lake is that there is such a diversity of styles and sizes and personalities that
Yes.
just because you visited one winery in Niagara-on-the-Lake doesn't mean you know Niagara-on-the-Lake wineries.
That's true. And are there about 28 or so wineries
There are.
in there, I think? Is that
There
right?
are.
It's
Yeah.
just like the B&Bs in Niagara-on-the-Lake as well. We
Absolutely.
just filmed a television show there last weekend, and we stayed at one, and we visited 7 or 8,
Yes.
and every single one of them had their own personality.
Absolutely.
So it's like you said, it's a feast for the palate and a feast for the eyes and all the senses when you go to Niagara-on-the-Lake. Thank you so much for coming in
it's my
this
pleasure.
afternoon and speaking with us, Michelle. And maybe we'll pop in at Chateau de Charme this weekend.
Yeah. We'll
By
see
all
you at the
means.
festival.
Would love to see you there.
So
Thanks,
up next,
Michelle.
we've got Rick Jorgensen from the Niagara-on-the-Lake B&B Association. He's going to be telling us all about the fabulous B&Bs out there. We'll be right back. All right, so now we're into the second segment of the show. We're going to be
Yes.
concentrating here this afternoon on the Niagara-on-the-Lake B&Bs, which are absolutely the only way to stay when you're in Niagara-on-the-Lake, the B&Bs and the cottages. And to tell us all about that here this afternoon, we've got Rick Jorgensen, who is the president of the association. Is that right, Rick?
That's right, yes.
Okay, so we've got the president here this afternoon. And first of all, nice to see you again.
It's good to see you again. I'm happy to be here, and thanks for coming out and visiting us in Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Well, we had a great time. So
We
Susanne,
did.
We had a great time. Like I said, we visited like a number of B&Bs, of course, of which one of them was Rick's. And Rick, I see you came alone today.
I did. Sophia couldn't make it, so I left her at home, sorry.
And for those of you that don't know who Sophia is, she's the resident ghost over at the Brockamore on the top floor, in the attic, right? That's where she resides.
That's one of the places that she does cover a lot of ground in
Oh,
the house.
she
so-
does.
Well, she floats all around, you know, like she's but you know, I have to warn everybody, she's a friendly ghost. She's like Casper, right? So, you know, at the Brockamore B&B, which is an outstanding, absolutely gorgeous B&B. We have to say that,
Oh,
Rick.
thanks very
Congratulations on that. Steeped in history. Maybe you can just say a couple of words about your B&B, because it really is one of the extraordinary properties there as well.
Well, I think it's best known for the person that built it, Captain John Powell, who was the son of William Drummer Powell, who was the first Attorney General of Upper Canada, and his father-in-law was Aeneas Shaw, who ended up coming up from the United States after the War of Independence, and became part of the Executive Council of Upper Canada. So the family was very prestigious, and the home was built as a prestigious home.
And it is. It's gorgeous.
And so how old is that house?
It dates...
Manor or mansion?
The 1809 is, it's a historically designated site for 1809. It was built out of brick and stone, so when the town was burned in 1813, this home didn't burn to the ground because its walls were built out of stone. So a lot of the exterior structure is still from the original build.
And I love those
amazing.
walnut trees too. Those are amazing. Those squirrels are stealing all the walnuts. He doesn't even have to pick them up anymore.
No, that's true. We have a
got
deal.
them all trained.
That's right. We have a deal. I don't bug them, and they clean up the walnuts.
So tell us a little bit about the B&Bs. Like, how does one get to stay at a B&B when they go to Niagara-on-the-Lake?
Well, I think it's important for people to know, certainly for your show that like to go out to Niagara-on-the-Lake, that there's a variety of accommodations that are available for every budget and taste. There's historic homes, there's contemporary homes, there's quaint, smaller homes, as well as vacation home rentals. And now there's some vacation apartments that are happening.
Right.
So there's a variety of accommodations, but as a traveler myself, I'd have to say that there's nowhere that I've been in the world where the quality of the accommodation is seen like it is in Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Yes.
From the smallest accommodation to the largest. The quality of care that the guest and visitor gets and experiences is second to none.
Well, we stayed at the Wellington, and
Yes.
that we had a fantastic time there. It's right in the town, just steps away. The breakfast was amazing.
Yes. You still have to
And-
get that recipe for that special
Yeah,
mascarpone French
very,
toast.
very nice.
Yeah.
And it
Good
was
luck.
really fun to see
Oh, yeah.
all the different types of accommodations that you do have.
Well, I think it's like Michelle was saying in the winery, and certainly you'll hear from Ruth from the culinary side that there really is a wide variety and some outstanding wines. I was talking to one of our guests this morning from Austria who had been wine tasting yesterday and was commenting on the quality of the wine and how
Awesome.
it was unexpected to him because being from Europe, there's a little bit of bias in
Yes.
terms
He
of
didn't know
of
Canadians
that.
could make
Exactly.
wine
There
the
you
way
go.
we do.
and such a wide variety of wine. So certainly from the visitor's point of view, when they come and stay at a bed and breakfast, we really are, you called me an ambassador, and that's really what the owners are. We try to direct the guest in terms of their palate for food and wine. We have many partners throughout the town that work with the association, and it's really about the guest experience when the people come. And so we're very passionate about the area. It's a great area.
Well, let's talk about the area a little bit, because there is so much to do there besides the wine and the culinary program, which is phenomenal. There's like tons of, like, for the person
The
for
festival,
hiking.
the theater festival, the Shaw
just,
Festival.
so many different things. Maybe we can talk about Niagara-on-the-Lake from that perspective. a
Yeah,
bit.
I think it's underrated because it's not. It's known now as a world destination, but there's a lot of hidden jewels. I mean, every day we have guests that come that have stayed for 1 or 2 nights, and they'll say, you know, we should have stayed longer. It's always the parting comment from the guests that come to our region, and it's because there's so much to do, but it's not known in terms of the variety. Some people come for wine, some people come for theater, some people come for the history. There's lots of reenactment, and obviously because of the history of the area, there is a lot of history just in our museum in town.
And also this is the
the bicentennial.
Yeah, the
Bicentennial.
yeah. So there must be a whole bunch of stuff that'll be going on.
There
for
is.
that.
For the next 3 years, from 1812 to 1814, there's a lot of historic things and events that are happening that people can enjoy. We have some great chefs at the restaurants, and I don't want to. Ruth will cover that better than I can, but it's just such a relaxing place for people to come. It's the area itself, the quaintness of the town.
The horse and buggy ride.
Yeah, that was fun.
And there's great shopping. You know, you really have everything there at Niagara-on-the-Lake.
And we have some, Riverbrink as a museum, Willow Banks as a restoration school. There's uniqueness and richness in the town and in the region itself. So
and don't forget about all the hiking, the bicycle trails, miles of that. So for the outdoors person, canoeing, all kinds of things that you can do.
And also Niagara Falls. I mean, if you want to go over and try your hand at the casino, that's not that far away. Also, it's like 20 minutes or so, maybe.
We say, our slogan for the Bed and Breakfast Association is "Stay with us, see it all," and really you can. You talked about the wineries, being minutes apart. Niagara Falls is less than half an hour away. So lots of people will come and stay and enjoy the winery, the history, the culinary events and the culture, and then go and see the falls for a day and have a great time there and come back and do some more.
And we have this great contest that we're doing with you guys right now too. I mentioned in the first part of the show, $3,500 in prizes. Every week we're going to be picking a different winner, and it's a Twitter, Facebook, social media contest, which has been going fantastic. We gave away our first winner, first prize last week, and he was thrilled to pieces. I know he's already received his prize, so he's very, very happy. But all you have to do is tweet #Niagara B&B TWL contest, and every Sunday at 11 o'clock we pick a winner, and then at noon we introduce another contest and another prize. So
we've got a few weeks to go still.
We have 5 more weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So keep on tweeting, keep on checking, and maybe you'll be the next name on Sunday, right? And you know what? It was interesting. Also, I was noticing that with Niagara-on-the-Lake, there's a lot of firsts with Niagara-on-the-Lake that I wasn't aware with. Like, I think it was, first of all, you have the oldest golf course in North America. I read somewhere. Is that possible?
That is still operating, yes, as a golf course. So 1876, the 9-hole golf course was part of a hotel that isn't there anymore. But it's carried on, and Niagara Parks owns the land, but it's leased. It's a wonderful little course. Doesn't look challenging until you get out there along. It's got a great big water hazard that wraps around it, which is
that the lake
Ontario.
That's a bit of
that's a big one. I don't think my water ball retriever is going to quite work.
So it's a very fun course, and they have a lovely restaurant at the golf club that's open to the public. A little patio to sit and watch the vista, and look across at Fort Niagara, which is in the United States, and watch the boats floating around in the water, and it's a beautiful way to spend a day.
And actually, speaking of our viewers in the U.S., it's a hop, skip, and a jump from the U.S., just across from the Buffalo border.
Yes.
What about, half an hour, would you say?
Well, from the airport, I would say that it's an hour from the airport, and depending on where you come in, which crossing, because there's 3 different crossings that you can take, it's less than a half an hour to cross the border. So.
That's awesome. So Niagara-on-the-Lake, folks, what are you waiting for? get yourself over there.
Now, you know, we've been very rude hosts. We haven't even offered Rick a glass of wine
That's
here.
true.
The
Oh my
Coyotes run.
Let's correct that right now,
Yes,
actually.
I
Okay,
think
Rick,
so.
can we offer you a glass of wine?
I'd be hard pressed to have one. I think I might manage.
Well, we have a blend, actually. We have a Pinot Gris, Pinot Blanc blend, a VQA wine from Coyotes Run from, of course, Niagara-on-the-Lake. So it's a 2008 vintage. So why don't we have a little toast to the wonderful hidden gem of a wonderful, incredible destination that Niagara-on-the-Lake is.
Thank you.
And invite everybody to come on out.
Absolutely.
Oh, actually, you know what? I think we have a little bit there, so we'll just top it up.
Thank you.
Suzanne?
Okay. Well, I've got my
Oh,
sparkling
you've got
here.
some? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm all good to go. So let's have a toast. Rick,
Well,
thanks
here's
for
to the
coming in.
conference. Thank you. Thanks for the invitation, and
no
we'll
worries.
see you at the wine festival.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
So now we are joined with Ruth Aspinall. Now she is the proprietor of the Epicurean restaurant, a fabulous restaurant in Niagara-on-the-Lake. And Ruth, talk about somebody who is absolutely passionate about pleasuring the palates of her customers for, I think, around 21 years now. So Ruth, thanks for joining us. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here.
Well, our pleasure to have you, and we had the distinct pleasure actually to have
We
lunch
did.
at the Epicurean restaurant, I guess a couple
Gorgeous
of weeks ago.
patio.
Wonderful, wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about, with our viewers, share a little bit about the Epicurean restaurant. It really is a fabulous spot.
Well, it's a rather unique restaurant, and it started out of a midlife crisis, you might say.
Really?
As I think a lot of
Rather than a
businesses-
divorce?
No divorce. No, and we didn't even get divorced after we started this.
That's amazing.
project.
That's a winning project for sure.
But my husband was a VP of corporate finance with Citibank, and I was in sales, and the economy wasn't so good 21 years ago. So we opened a restaurant in Niagara-on-the-Lake. I mean,
Oh, okay, that's logical.
I mean, is that not logical? I subscribe to Gourmet Magazine. What more do you want? Right?
And you consider yourself a banker, or your husband a banker?
But that's part of why the business has been so successful, because
true.
of his ability to run a business. I'm kind of the flighty, artistic one. Well, let's do this.
What a
and let's
great
do that.
combination. It
And
is.
he kind of keeps it.
So he runs
Make sure
a tight
that-
ship, and you take care of all of the artistic
That's
and
exactly,
yeah.
exactly. But
Awesome.
21 years down the road, we have a fabulous chef. We have management in place. We're
Yes.
we're not flying by the seat of our pants anymore, which we certainly were 21 years ago.
Yeah.
And you're right on the main drag.
We are right directly opposite the Royal George Theatre.
Perfect.
And it's a rather unique restaurant in that by day it's kind of cafeteria style.
Right.
Although everything is made to order for you.
Yes.
But it's fabulous fresh sandwiches and fresh salads and quiches and fabulous desserts and
Great soups.
great soups.
We have
fabulous
amazing soup, yep.
We make everything is fresh and made from scratch. We don't buy in anything
yeah.
as that type of restaurant do. But then the magic is at about 5 o'clock, 5:30, that all kind of goes away, and the tablecloths go on the table. The
Showbiz time.
The lovely glasses come out, and it's a bistro by night, and it's an open kitchen with table service, proper, lovely wait staff, and great menu, the best steak and frites you've ever
And you have a
eaten in your
fantastic wine
entire
list there
life.
as well. You've
We
got
have an
a good
award-winning
variety.
wine list, and it is 99% local wines, because we
course.
really, really believe in supporting our local
Yes, that would make a lot of sense.
wine industry. It's
Right.
a very, very important part, as everything is an important part. I mean, we're all partners in this.
Yes.
And we are so lucky to be in this agricultural area that all the restaurants in town can take advantage of this, because we go to the farmer and buy the tomatoes and the cucumbers and the peppers and the eggplants and the fresh produce that is available to us all season
Yes.
long. Of course,
Amazing.
in January we are stuck with
What happens in January?
Well, it is Canada.
it is Canada. It's
come
a
out,
little
I
tough to
guess.
have local lettuce in January.
Yes, yeah.
But and the culinary scene is just an amazing scene in Niagara-on-the-Lake, and it just runs the gamut from the little mom and pop greasy spoon where you can get a fabulous hamburger up to the very fine dining at Hildebrand and
Peller
Peller.
Estates, Jason Parsons.
And absolutely. So there is just everything available in Niagara-on-the-Lake, and we have some wonderful culinary events.
At the beginning of August, I had the great fortune of having the tasting menu at Peller Estates,
Yes.
and it was unbelievable. Just Jason outdid himself, and Peller Estates is an incredible,
it's a
incredible
beautiful
winery, beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful decor restaurant, beautiful.
Yeah, and I think that Niagara-on-the-Lake is also attracting some of the like successful chefs, like from the bigger cities. They're all starting to recognize what Niagara-on-the-Lake has to offer.
Well, Niagara-on-the-Lake has come a very long way in food. In the 21 years that we have been there, we were really kind of the first departure in restaurants.
Kid on the block.
And you know, we just kind of had mom and pop kind of things. There was Donna's Old Town Restaurant, and you know, they were just more local. But things really started to change 20 years ago. The theater was really taking off. Wonderful things were happening. The B&Bs were just really starting to flourish. The hotels were changing, and Niagara-on-the-Lake just took a big leap forward. And it was a big part of it was the wineries, the wines coming into their own, just producing wonderful product, and everything else just kind of followed along with it, and now it's just an amazing part of the world.
Well, you know, clearly, like we said earlier at the top of the show, that I know that TripAdvisor ranked Niagara-on-the-Lake 12th out of 25 top destinations across Canada. So that is quite
that's an amazing
something.
Yeah,
ranking.
because there's a lot of places to go to.
Yeah. And like we were saying, also there are so many things to do in Niagara-on-the-Lake. It's like
within a half an hour radius of Niagara-on-the-Lake as a hub.
Yeah,
there's just wonderful things to do. As you mentioned earlier, I mean, from the hiking, the biking, the wineries, other little towns that are certainly worth a little visit, and of course food.
Well, the events, there's always an event going on there, right? Like centered around food and wine, there's always something going on.
I mean, in January, the place is packed for the Ice Wine Festival.
Oh, we love the Ice Wine Festival. We always do a wine tour, an ice wine tour to Niagara-on-the-Lake. We bring about 20-25 people and with a limo bus, and maybe we'll do something with you this year.
That's a wonderful pairing also with the restaurants and the wineries. I mean, the Epicurean is always part of that.
Okay.
And we usually do an incredible little chocolate thing because it goes so beautifully with ice wine.
Well, we're going to definitely tie in with you this year.
And that'd be fabulous. And so it's a good opportunity to taste some of the wonderful things from so many of the different restaurants in town, as well as the wineries.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have something like in February for wine and chocolate.
There's the wine and chocolate.
There's always the herb festival. There's always something going on.
There's always something going on.
So tell me, how did you become so passionate about food? I mean, you know, what was the sort of early beginnings
I've just
of that?
always loved food, and I don't know why, because my mother was one of the world's worst cooks.
Well, that's why.
So maybe it was self-defense.
Self-defense, that's it.
I don't know. At age 9, I had cooked dinner for my family, and I made blue mashed potatoes and was very offended because no one would eat them.
Blue mashed potatoes?
Mashed
at
potatoes.
age 9?
At age 9. I put a little blue food coloring, and I have an art background, so, you know.
I thought that was a strain of potato that I didn't know about.
Well, it is now. You can buy blue potatoes.
Okay. So you were ahead of your time there, Ruth.
But I was just ahead of my time.
But nobody liked your blue potatoes.
Nobody liked my blue mashed potatoes. But I've just always really enjoyed food. I've been very lucky in my life to have traveled a lot. I still travel a lot. I just got back from Paris, where I just had some amazingly wonderful food. Just food is fabulous, and I feel sorry for people who don't enjoy
What's your
good food.
favorite ingredient?
Depends on the day of the week. It's flavorings that I really like. I love Indian food. And in the wintertime, starting in November, actually, we do 2 nights a week, Wednesday and Thursday night, where we do world cuisines all winter long. And we do a different country every week. And we do Indian, we do Japanese, we do French, we do Dutch, because we have an enormous Dutch population down there. And it's been enormously popular. It's low priced. Bring your own wine, no corkage.
No
corkage.
Wow.
Wednesday and Thursday nights all winter long. So needless to say, we don't make much money, but it really services our local community. Gives them an opportunity to taste something different. It keeps our staff a little happy.
Of course, yeah.
During the winter, which is a very, very slow time. in
Yeah.
Niagara,
Is it
like, for
really?
everyone, for the retailers, the,
Yeah.
the wineries, the theater is closed.
Right.
So there's not a lot going on in the winter time. So we try and help things along.
Well, Ice Wine Festival, and
Yeah.
I don't know, we'll have to come up with some other ideas to get people to go there in January.
Well, the wineries are very active in coming up with events. They really
They're
do
very
a
creative,
very
aren't
good
they?
job. And of course, we have
Yeah.
the film festival
Yeah.
in December, January, and February. Every
okay.
Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock at the Festival Theater, there is a fabulous film. And the theater is packed full every
It is,
Saturday.
eh?
Yeah,
That's
for
awesome.
wonderful movies.
So what, I know you said that you do a lot of traveling. So where is that sort of where you get some of your inspiration, I guess, for your ideas
Yes,
for the
very,
menu?
very,
and-
very often.
Yeah.
because I really enjoy flavors, and a lot of my traveling is. I'd go to France quite a bit because we also have a little retail store where we specialize in French product, including cans of cassoulet and duck confit and things like
now
that.
you're talking my language.
And walls of French table linen.
Yeah.
But we just really enjoy seeing how the rest of the world lives.
Yes.
And if we can bring some little part of it to
And
Niagara-on-the-Lake.
you do.
And share it.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's a great thing to do.
Well, you know, we really enjoyed our afternoon with you, our lunch, and on the patio was beautiful. I had the Italian not the Italian, the sausage soup.
Yes.
The hot
which was
sausage
the
soup.
hot sausage
Yes.
soup.
Yeah, that
and,
was delicious, yeah.
What else did we have there
Well, I
that
had a
afternoon?
sandwich. It was like lobster and seafood sandwich, I believe
Yes.
it was, and with some avocado on it.
Yeah.
It was dreamy. It was really, really.
Well, I was going to bring us lunch today, and I stopped at the restaurant this morning before I left, but because we make everything fresh, nothing was ready yet.
Nothing was ready.
So we'll just have to drink wine.
And we'll take a rain check next
Okay.
time we come to Niagara-on-the-Lake.
That's good.
So what would be the website for the Epicurean if someone wants to check it out?
Epicurean.ca.
Okay, well that's easy enough. Well, thank you, Ruth, for coming in. And we're going down this weekend. Maybe we'll pop in and have
I would look
lunch.
forward to it.
All right, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks again, Ruth.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the Wine Ladies here today. Of course, our focus was on the beautiful town of Niagara-on-the-Lake and the B&Bs and the culinary and the wine programs that they have out there. Fantastic destination.
Don't forget to enter the contest, Suzanne.
Enter the contest to win a stay at one of those wonderful B&Bs. Have a great week, everybody. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody.